letter B, so it's not a crease at the moment. We're looking at people, places and things around the county beginning with a given letter. Where else to start with a letter B than Blackpool Tower, one of the most recognisable landmarks in the UK. It's been a focal point for visitors since it opened on the 14th of May 1894. I'm joined by Juliette Gregson. She's a heritage photographer and social historian. She's going to tell us a few facts about the tower. Hi, Juliette.
Hello, how are you today?
I'm good, thank you. I know that my first memories of going to Blackpool, driving along the M55 and looking over to the right, the first person that gets to see the tower gets a stick of rock or whatever my parents were bribing us with at the time. How long have you been interested in the history of the tower?
Gosh, well, obviously being Sandground born and bred as long as I've been living here, so that's a good 40 odd years. Obviously a lady never reveals her true age.
Of course. Now, I'm told it took its inspiration as almost a copycat of the Eiffel Tower. Whose idea was that?
It's quite interesting you should bring that up. I've got quite a number of books on Blackpool Tower, and I actually thought, it's John Bickerstaff, because he did actually visit the Great Paris Exhibition, allegedly, good word there, please remember, when he actually saw the Eiffel Tower, but he actually visited, in fact, the Nouveau Circus, which was the idea for our own Tower Circus, because he wanted, basically, the water, he wanted to see the hydraulic ring, which is such a fantastic water feature in the actual Tower Circus. So he came back, had a discussion with a gentleman called William Darker Pitt, and then got everybody together, put together a company, Blackpool Central Property Company, Blackpool Tower Company, and then basically it sort of went from there.
Yeah, it's an impressive piece of engineering. I'm told, again, this isn't my knowledge, this is someone giving me this information, 5 million Accrington bricks, loads of steel and cast iron. Do you know how long it took to build and what sort of investment was made at the time?
Gosh, yes. Roughly the total cost for the design and construction was about 290,000, so you can think how much that actually was way back in the mist of time. It actually took 3 years. Like I said, you've mentioned about the 5 million Accrington bricks. It was about 2,500 tons of steel. You had goodness knows how many cast iron, tons of steel, just everything. It was just, wow, I would have loved to be Doctor Who and have a TARDIS and go back in time to watch that being built. Fantastic.
Yeah, because I imagine at the time there was nothing of its kind, and people didn't have the ability to see the Eiffel Tower. You know, there was no TV, there was no internet, nothing like that. So it must have been quite an inspiration for people to look at. What was the reaction like? Did it draw visitors immediately?
Gosh, and then some. Obviously, we have to rely on the old newspapers of the time, and it says, this is where it conflicts a little bit, it says, when the tower actually opened, 3,000 customers took the first rides to the top of the tower, paying sixpence admission, but it actually says there was an estimated 70,000 customers actually paid that weekend. I mean, wow. Absolutely... I think because I live here, I'm so used to the tower, and I think sometimes we take things like that. You know, it's grade 1 listed. We take it for granted, but it's just such a, when you think about it, a marvellous piece of engineering.
I've got a small confession. To my knowledge, I've never been to the top. I blame in part my parents for that, because I always wanted to do as a kid. You know, we went to Blackpool a lot, but I was always dragged past and never allowed in.
No.
I know. I will. It's on my bucket list. I will do it at some point. How has it changed over the years? How has it evolved through that over 100 years?
You've got to think, obviously, over the years, trends change, people's aspirations change. You've got to think, what's there, what's not still there. I mean, I remember going to see the Tower Circus, and that hasn't had animals now since 1990. And actually my mum and dad, David and Kath Gregson, they went to the last show, and my dad actually filmed it. You had so many things. Let me just think. Caught me on the hop there. So things like the Tower Lounge, that's no longer there anymore, because it just wasn't.
The glass. There's a glass viewing window at the top now, isn't there, where you can look down. That always scares me when I see people doing that. I presume that's a relatively new introduction, is it?
It is and it isn't. That's actually the second version, believe it or not. The infamous Walk of Faith, is what I remember the original one, was opened about, let me think, 1998. And originally it was made of 2 sheets of laminated glass, 2 inches thick, and they weighed half a ton. How on earth they got it up there, I don't know. And it said that they could actually have 2 elephants. How on earth you get the elephants up there again, I don't know. But obviously, if you look now, you've got like one side, which you look down, and it's like, woo! So I remember both versions, so it's particularly weird for me. And it's like over the years when I've sort of been researching, I mean, a great friend of mine, Nick Moore, who does the blackpoolhistory.co.uk, who originally put me in contact with you, so thank you. He's like, read this, it's really interesting. There's so many weird and wonderful facts. It's like pacing the tower.
Give us very quickly your best fact. Well, if you could choose one fact about the tower that's going to amaze people, what would it be?
Oh, good grief, there's so many. Okay, there's an inscription above the stage from a Shakespearean sonnet, Venus and Adonis, reading, "Bid me discourse, I will enchant thine ear." Okay,
that's a bit of culture to finish. Thank you very much indeed for that whistle